Hi. I just want to talk a bit about businesses and employees and stuff like that. And I mean, this is just my rambling. I'm going to be talking about. I just feel like there are a lot of people who just worry about, say, like getting like paid time off, sick time, and stuff like that. How their employers treat them. I kind of thought about like people should rest more often than feel like they have to work over and over and over the time. It's like, especially because of the way things are going now, it's just like um the rents are going up, the gases are going up, the foods are going up, and people just feel like they have to work more for money just to catch up. It's not that easy, and it's just overtaxing to people. And I know that there are some places in the world where people literally work themselves to death, and that is a real problem. And I'm not gonna pretend I know how businesses work because I don't. I just feel like that businesses should um, value their employees and like give them times off they need to because we are human beings. We get sick. Sometimes we're just too tired because a lot of things just been going on. A lot of people just think like, "Oh, you're just being lazy." But you're talking about people who may have be dealing with their children, their other jobs they might have, their education, or a bunch of other stuff. So the way I see it is like people have a lot of things they're trying to do, especially because they're trying to reach their dreams and their goals and stuff like that. And sometimes something are just too taxing, but again, like I said, prices are going up and everything, and it's just like people can't catch up. And I think too about like how can people possibly be able to afford rent when the prices of rents are going up and the wages are still low? I'm not gonna say we need more minimum wage, we need increased taxation, because we know that never worked. And I think too is that this is a serious problem, and people should not have to work themselves to death, especially working many different jobs just to get a roof over their head. That's ridiculous. And I mean, right now, I'm my job. I get like 19.75 an hour. That's a bit above the minimum wage, but that is still not enough for a rent because you have to consider like even if you say, oh well, with 1975, you probably get that house just for like like 1300. It's like no big deal, but you have to add into other things like food, the bills, car payments, gas, stuff like that. And people try to say like, oh well, just get rid of the car and go for a bus. Well, the bus doesn't go to your workplace. That's just ridiculous. People should not have to give up their only transportation to save money, which never works anyway. Um, which is one of the reasons why I think this is sort of thing that needs to be kind of discussed because um, your employees are people. Need to have a place to live. They need to be able to eat. They need to be able to have enough money to go by. And I can understand that business can't provide just living wage because that's not how it works. I know they can't. And I think that's one of the big things that we need to have a discussion with um, for everybody. Not just like, well, we need to talk with the legislators or whatever. Because like, what's the legislator going to do? Nothing. They're just going to line the pockets of the rich. They don't care about us. We should be helping each other, all of us around. So, and that's kind of one of the things I thought maybe what's important is that employers provide the paid time off and sick time and even unpaid time off for things like you're sick or you need some time to yourself because you overworked. Like if you're a mother, you have to take care of all these kids of yours. You have to take them to school. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do this, and you have to go to work, and you're so exhausted. I can understand. I mean, that sort of thing. I would say, just take a break. I mean, that's why I feel like if I was an employer, I mean, I don't know how it will work for me if I were an employer and I'm running a business. I would rather that my employees take a break. I mean, that's not to say it's like just anybody, because if you are just like a slacker who never really puts half the work in my job, and you're just like taking more times off in the week, yeah, you're just not gonna be in the work anymore. You're just gonna be like, you can't. Oh, sorry, can't work here anymore. You're not putting in effort. That, as opposed to the ones who do put the effort, like, say, oh, she has been putting in several weeks in the work, and she feel like, I am so exhausted. I just gotta take care of my kids. My kids are sick, stuff like that. I'll be like, just take a break. Don't worry about it. You're not gonna be fired. You are still gonna be able to come back. Just take care of your kids. I hope your kids get better. This sort of stuff. I believe that people should have that kind of communication. I mean, again, I don't know how all the business works, so I'm not saying that I know anything, because this is just my thoughts. I'm rambling, okay? So, another thing is, again, we need to have a conversation about how we could work on trying to help with people who needs housing or needs what they could do for their housing they have. So, because nobody should ever have to pay like exorbitant amount of rent just for a tiny little apartment, or feel like they have to work several jobs just to pay for that one rent. It's like, and I hear all the times from people who say like, just cut spendings. Like, what spendings? It's so interesting how you automatically assume you know how much people are spending their money on. I mean, yeah, sure, if you have Netflix, you probably should take that off because you don't need that. But again, it's probably just for like, not even $10, not even $20. It's probably not even a drop in the bucket. But other than that, maybe you should cut that off if you feel like it's not really needed. But if it's just like, well, I'm paying just the rent and food and bills, then what's the cut? There's nothing to cut. If you say, well, cut off the internet, well, then you have no way of getting, finding any other jobs or whatever, because the internet is kind of important now. Because we can't exactly do anything without the internet now. Especially because people will tell you, well, if you want to have this job, you're going to have to go online. It's like, but I don't have the internet. Well, just go to the library. So give it free information of yourself to the world, an unsecured website. Great. No. But that is again why we need to have a conversation and not try to shut people down, not try to make assumptions about people's living expenses or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, if you're just spending money on makeup and stuff, yeah, probably should cut off makeup and stuff. But other than that, but then again, people should not have to cut spending to stuff they like to enjoy. Well, stop going out to eat all the time. You're automatically assuming they always go out to eat. And not to mention, what if they don't have a kitchen? I don't have a house of my own. So, I'm technically homeless. I do have a job. Yeah, I do stay with my parents, but I don't try to use their kitchen all that much. Mainly because I'm always off to go try to work as much as I can, of course. Not because I don't want to do nothing at my parents' house. And of course, I pay them the rent, so it's not like I mooch off the system or anything like that. And I don't like welfare system. And that's another thing I want to talk about is the welfare system is the welfare system is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. I've been on the welfare system, and I will tell you this, it is the dumbest thing ever. It is not because people should just get on to just charities, because charities don't really have all that much, and they don't always try to give you anything. Charities are even worse than the welfare. And another thing too is, getting food stamps. It's like, I've been here all the time, people get food stamps. They're like, I have no income, I have no money, I have nothing. What's my, how much food stamps do I get? $50. $50? Do you know how much food that would cost for, in a month? At least a couple of hundreds. $50 is a drop of the penny. The drop of the bucket, I mean. It is not good enough. They're just keeping us dirt poor. And I've seen that all the time. I've seen that for years. They're just interested in keeping you dirt poor. That's one of the things I don't like about welfare. And yes, it does keep people dependent on these things. Even when people don't want to be honest, they feel like they have no other choice. Not because they don't want to work, not because they're lazy. You don't know that. You don't know all these people. They may be hardworking people who are just like, no matter how much I try, my employer just doesn't want to pay me. And people will try to defend the employer. Well, like, they should have to. Like, but people should have the right to live too. And that's one of the reasons why things like this need to have a discussion. And I'm gonna be saying this many times. It's like, I know. I don't know everything about businesses. I don't know how everything works. But it doesn't mean that we still shouldn't have this conversation about what we can do for people who are homeless, for people who are barely making ends meet with their jobs, especially if they have to deal with all the other stuff, like if they have kids, or they have to go to school, or they have to do a lot of things. I remember when I was trying to balance pay my rent, going to work, taking care of my spouse who was now passed away, and going to school and going to work. It's like I can't juggle all these things. It's like, and it's just complete chaotic mess. And I don't even know what to do. Because right now, the only thing I'm doing is working as an unemployed, as a homeless person. I'm employed, I'm homeless, that's all. And the only thing I can think of doing is like just get myself a new car, get myself a trailer, just live in that. Partly because I want to travel, but partly because housing is so expensive now that it's just like, it's not even worth trying to invest in it anymore. It's just not even bothered. I mean, yeah, you probably go like, well, there's Zillow, and you could go. Yeah, I've seen Zillow, I've seen those places. There are a lot of interesting stuff, but I question a lot of those cheap houses. Because I've seen the pictures, and I've seen that they look bad. They are like the fixer-upper kind of thing. I mean, it's great if you want to buy that house and to kind of like fix it up and then like sell it up back to the market or whatever, like flip houses, stuff like that. I mean, maybe I would love to try to do that. I don't know. Again, I don't know how to do things, so maybe I can learn. I don't know. The way I see it is that things are not simple as people try to throw out their useless solutions at us, and this is why we're not even communicating each other with that. It's like, we're not communicating with people. And this is not one of those like, well, I guess I'll just have to drop all of my problems and work on yours. Nobody is saying that. This is what is wrong with not communicating. We need to have this conversation because not everybody is all lazy and like stupid or whatever. They're just spending a whole bunch of money. It's like, yeah, if you're one of those people who just want to like luxurious stuff, yeah, you deserve to have nothing because you're basically looking up high up the mountain and now realize you have to work at the bottom. You have to work your bottom, go up. It's the same thing for any job. You work at the bottom and you go up. That's one of the problems why I remember when working in retail, I was not going up. I'm not going anywhere. I was just spending my dollars in that workplace, in retail, being abused by by customers. So I'm just like, I'm done. And the reason why is because I am deaf, and it apparently gives people the carte blanche to think, oh well, so you don't hear me, I'm gonna treat you like crap. It's like, that's why I just didn't want to work at retail. That's why I'm working another job where I don't have to deal with customers. I am trying to go back to school. That's another thing I'm doing, is juggling for now schooling as well as work. So it's interesting how I'm doing all this. Doing all this with being homeless. And now I'm gonna juggle with car payment as well as paying for a trailer. Hopefully I'll be doing those as well. So I know I could do all these things because I've been doing the math on them. So the only thing I'll probably have to figure out is like, okay, where would I be able to park my trailer? So right now, and I'm sorry for the car alarm blaring like that. So I apologize for that, even though that's nothing on me. I guess that's it for now. So I'm gonna sign off for today, and thank you for listening to my ramblings. So if you got anything you want to say, I would love to hear it. Thank you very much. Bye.